to another edition of Hammer Horror Blu-Ray Reviews. And today we are going to look at the sixth film in the Frankenstein franchise. And the only one in the franchise not to star Peter Cushing. And that is the Horror of Frankenstein. So, this was filmed without Peter Cushing. It was decided that Hammer was trying to build new stars so that they could phase out Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee, who were becoming more and more expensive, and due to the financial crunches that Hammer was dealing with at that time, including losing distribution rights in the U.S. With the agreements that they had with distributors for the U.S. to help finance movies, they were more and more trying to save money, and one of those that they were trying to do was to create new stars. So, Horror of Frankenstein was conceived, written, produced, and directed by Jimmy Saxton, who coincidentally wrote Curse of Frankenstein. Horror of Frankenstein is basically a remake of Curse of Frankenstein, and it stars Ralph Bates as Victor Frankenstein, Veronica Carson as Elizabeth, Kate Amora as the maid, and David Prowse as the creature. So, little note, David Prowse, who you all know, Star Wars fans knows, played the physical form of Darth Vader in the original Star Wars trilogy. Not only has the unique distinction of playing the Frankenstein monster twice, he would go on to play the monster again in the seventh and final film of the franchise, Frankenstein and the Monster from Hell. But that was not his only contribute to Hammer Horror. He would also do the Hammer Horror film Vampire Circus, which we'll talk later on in another review. So, as you can see here, this is the poster, I believe, that was originally released when the Horror of Frankenstein came out. And you can see in the back here, there's several still shots from the movie. Nice little silhouette there of David Prowse as the creature. And as you can see here, in our case, it's just a nice picture of Ralph Bates as Frankenstein working in his laboratory and such. So let's talk what special features do we have on here from this film. So you get two ratio aspects. You get the 185 by 1. You get the 166 by 1. There's new audio commentary by film historian Bruce G. Hunderbeck. I hope I pronounced his name right. There's also an inside documentary called Gallows Humor Inside the Horror of Frankenstein. Audio commentary with Jimmy Saxton and Hammer Films historian Marcus Heridan. And a vintage interview with actress Veronica Carson and theatrical trailer. It's not a terrible movie. The problem with this is that Ralph Bates was given the impossible task of basically taking over a role, an iconic role created by Peter Cushing. And Peter Cushing had spent the previous 5 films creating this sinister, amoral character, but at times had sometimes in latter films like The Evil Frankenstein and Frankenstein Created Woman, there were some lines that we eventually find that he wouldn't cross, but then we discover whoops, forget that, he may cross those lines. But in here, there is no rationality about this whatsoever. There is not a spark of compassion whatsoever in Bates' performance of Victor Frankenstein. He cares nothing about consequences of his actions, and when confronted about any of his actions and the consequences, he merely brushes them off and ignores them. for example, in the latter Frankenstein films, especially Revenge of Frankenstein, Evil Frankenstein, and Frankenstein Created Woman, Frankenstein only had one focus only, and that was creating life. He had no devices, and as such, it was just an extreme focus. But in Horror of Frankenstein, Bates Frankenstein has devices. He likes getting freaky with the women. Is the best way I can put it. When he's confronted by the dean of the university about impregnating his daughter and saying, "Well, you need to marry my daughter," he's like, "Well, can you just take care of it? You're a doctor." And it's that kind of stuff that while it distinguishes Bates' version of Victor Frankenstein from Cushing's, I also think it kind of hurts because by then everybody had Cushing's version so dwelled into their minds. It's sort of sad because Ralph Bates was a fine actor, and fortunately he did get a film where he could really shine and show that in Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde, which we have previously reviewed. So that's the Blu-ray of that. Now, can you get this on? Pardon me, I should have had this ready for this video, and I apologize. Stepping out of frame, you'll have to forgive me. I'll be better organized the next video, I promise you. I promise you. Aha. Here we go. I do own this on DVD. This is the original release from the Hammer collection by Anchor Bay. And you can see the nice little silhouette there now in the picture of David Prowse's eyes staring at and such. And as you can see, on the back here. So this one, it does have some special features. It has audio commentary that is on the film. It has the interview with Veronica Carsten, the theatrical trailer, the posters and stills. It has a photo album of Veronica Carsten, a gallery of fine art by Veronica Carsten, excuse me, and trailer bios. And I do believe there's Easter eggs on this. Now, what is Easter eggs? Back in the early days of DVDs, they would bury special features that you could only get to by hitting certain keys on your remote. And it would allow you to get to these hidden special features, and they were called Easter eggs. So, but I think Easter eggs is a thing of the past now. It was just a fad in the early days of DVD, but I don't think you have those anymore. But I do believe this one has it. I would have to look it up to see for sure. So, let's open this up, and there you got the little poster, and you can see the fold out there that I've done out for you and such. But overall, not a terrible film. Definitely, if you're a horror Frankenstein fan, you definitely want this for your collection. Or if you're a Hammer horror fan yourself. Now, if you're a fan of Veronica Carsten, yes, you want this movie in your collection. This one is probably where she is not. It's probably one for. I think she considers this one for better performances. However, I think that her better performance comes in Dracula Has Risen from the Grave, but that's just a matter of opinion. So, while Ralph Bates does a good job as Victor Frankenstein, it was just impossible for him to overcome the image of Peter Cushing. So, anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Sorry about not being a little more prepared, but anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to check out all the other great content on the Geek This Week YouTube channel. Check out all the other great panels that we have on here that are from the various users of Pensacon. I mean, there's a lot of them out there, and much more. Thank you guys for watching and appreciate your support.